Now to link up with our Abuja studio where Eshomomo Imodu as well as TJ Suadeoye is standing by to bring us up to speed or continue the conversation on the breakfast show this morning. Good morning, Eshomomo. Good morning, TJ Su. How are you guys doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Veronica.
We're doing well.
Great.
And how are you doing over there?
We're fine. Well. We're good. All right. You can take it over now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's just go straight into the business of the day. Then, good morning, everyone. Today we will be focusing on a critical issue affecting every Nigerian, and that is the price of fuel. As global oil markets fluctuate and local refineries remain under pressure, a heated debate has emerged between the Dangote Refinery and independent oil marketers over the cost of fuel. Now, this disagreement raises questions about price regulations, supply stability, and affordability for Nigerians. At the heart of this controversy is the newly operational Dangote Refinery, which has promised to reduce Nigeria's dependence on imported fuel by producing locally refined petroleum products. However, oil marketers argue that the current pricing structure from Dangote is unsustainable for the business operations. The marketers are claiming that the landing cost of premium motor spirit was 922 naira 65 kobo per litre as at Friday. Now, this is a 32 naira 35 kobo decrease from the 955 naira per litre price of Dangote's loading gantry. According to dealers, this cost accounts for several components, including shipping fee, import duties, and exchange rates fluctuations. And this shift comes despite the Nigerian midstream and downstream petroleum regulatory authorities' earlier advocacy for a 180-day suspension of fuel imports to promote local refining.
However, the 650,000 barrels per day Dangote Refinery, once lauded for its competitive pricing, is now struggling to match the affordability of imported alternatives. Dangote Petroleum Refinery explained that the recent increase in the price of premium motor spirit was driven by the significant rise in global crude oil prices. The company highlighted that as crude oil is the main raw material for PMS production, changes in its international price directly influence the cost of the final product. But marketers contend that there is no binding agreement requiring them to prioritize locally produced fuel over cheaper imports. Well, just before our guest comes in, Eshomomo, it's just surprising to see this debate between marketers and Dangote Refinery. You know, the country was, excited when, this refinery came on board, even with the coming on board of the Port Harcourt Refinery. A lot of people felt that this will not make importation of the premium motor spirit unattractive. And now seeing this debate and Dangote struggling to keep up with the pump price and all of that, I don't know. How do Nigerians have to place this?
This is definitely a sad moment for Nigerians because on one end, the consumers will bear the brunt of all this because it's going to affect the pricing. Like you know that in Nigeria, once the price of product like that goes up in the international markets, you don't even delay the stock you had. You just mark up the price to reflect.
Just when Nigerians thought that the prices were coming down and there was excitement in the mail. When you go to the filling station and you see that the prices are coming down, all of a sudden it's back. It's back there again.
It's back. And the part we thought we'd forgotten, importation of fuel, we're gradually returning to it. And you see, it's going to be putting pressure on a lot of things. The ability of the consumers and also on the availability of forex. That is not a part that Nigerians and Nigeria want to go back to. But sadly, it's just right before us.
But in the case that these marketers eventually go back to or go with their plans to begin importing this PMS, what will this now do to the exchange rate? Because they will require this exchange forex to purchase this, and this will put more pressure on the Nigerian currency. I don't know how there will be a balance.
Yeah. The reality is once the pressure comes back on the available foreign exchange, definitely is going to kind of shoot it up further. Except the regulatory authorities watch the way they allocate the foreign exchange and ensure that, look, what you get is what you use to import the fuel, so that we don't go back to that sad part that this present government is trying to take us away from. And I think another question that was on my mind is, where does this place, the Port Harcourt Refinery, the Warri Refinery?
Yeah, what is
now,
the
if Dangote
is
imported, says, okay, because crude importation is huge, it has gone up. Is it what Port Harcourt Refinery and Warri Refinery also importing? So where does this place all this argument?
But even if with the Dangote Refinery saying that it's going to increase its prices because of the rising costs in crude oil, how come, these marketers are claiming that they are getting it cheaper, in the international market? That's another question to raise. Is it justified? Is their increase in price justified? Is there somewhere that maybe corners can be caught? Or I don't know.
But for my own is that I think that the desire to make profit, take advantage of every available opportunity to make profit is what is driving all this, until they kind of convince Nigerians. But you see, how do you convince the man that does not have the fund to buy fuel, and now you're going to increase the price? How do you want to convince him? And he knows that you have Dangote Refinery producing locally, you have Warri, you have Port Harcourt, and we're told the other one, I think the new refinery in Port Harcourt, as at that time, was 90% completed. So how do you convince the ordinary Nigerians that, look, all this game means well for them?
I feel it just left on the government to go back to the drawing board and see how they can make this product available to Nigerians. Of course, Nigerians have had their own fair share of this whole back and forth issue, and they've had a lot to do with, especially with the impact of the removal of the fuel subsidy and all of that. It's just left to government to ensure that, they make suitable arrangements to ensure that Nigerians don't feel the impact that much, and that gradual decline in the pump price that we have seen in recent times, returns, and, the marketers and Dangote and whoever is involved in this sector, ensures that Nigerians get value for money and also at an affordable price. Yeah,
and I also think that even Dangote is not exempted from all this blame, because on one hand, the ordinary man will ask, why do you have to import? Is it that you don't have the allocation from NNPCL, the crude allocation from NNPCL? So why do you focus on importation? So those are the areas they will need to explain, because you don't just assume that Nigerians understand this.
Exactly.
Because if the man is parting with so much, you must explain to him. You owe Nigerians the duty to explain that, look, this is what I get. This is what I thought I would get from NNPCL, and I'm not getting it. And because of that, over time, I've been importing. Now, you must come to the table clean, place the facts on the table. Dangote Refinery, Port Harcourt Refinery, Warri Refinery, everyone must come to the table, and so that Nigerians will not be taken advantage of.
Of course. Well, we'll still continue this conversation shortly, but we'll take a quick break now. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Is politics. In Nigeria, almost every part of our lives is touched by the politics we play. Governance, legislative matters, the economy, security, foreign affairs, internal affairs. Have a feel as strategic plays in the political space determine how we live in Nigeria. The players, the drama, chess piece moves. Be kept informed. Watch analysis of major happenings in the political space and how it affects you. Watch Politics on Sunday.
It's glad to have you back in our studio. We have been discussing about the recent decision by the oil marketers to, ditch patronizing the Dangote Refinery and, begin importation of petrol. Now, looking at the CNG, the innovation to bring in CNG into the mix to solve all these issues, we've seen a resurfacing of some fuel queues. And even the CNG, another talk about it is that the availability. So we've seen that some people have converted the vehicles to CNG vehicles and they have not even, seen this product to buy. That is another topic. Like when you're creating another alternative, another issue is coming up, when you think that something is, a situation is being solved, it just reverts.
You see, if Nigerians ever thought that they're going to have a smooth ride, I think the reality is that it's never going to be, because while the government is creating an alternative, the CNG alternative,
of course,
the oil marketers are as a cartel, and they know that if this CNG operation is so successful, then it's going to affect their own business. And so there's going to be pressure to make sure that the fact might not be there now to make sure that, look, this thing does not work, because how will you explain? Somebody was saying the other day that so many people have embraced the CNG, but despite that, you don't seem to see the reduction in consumption of fuel. Of fuel. So are they using what they have converted into, or what exactly is happening? So, but I think the onus is still on the government. That, look, your initiative, you must follow through your initiative. It's not just enough to create an alternative. You must ensure that there is no cartel that is created along the line to frustrate your policies. And you must sanction whoever is caught trying to sabotage your...
I really hope that these marketers do not follow through with their plans to begin importation of petrol, because, that will also lead us back to the era of fuel queues. Exactly. Before this product lands in the country, and you hear that the oil vessels is still on the sea waiting to land and all of that. Nigerians have had a lot to deal with, and that resurfacing of fuel queues is just something that they don't even want to. It's better it's available at maybe a high cost, but not available at all. I know that is not something that Nigerians should look forward to.
We went through the Yuletide season. We didn't have fuel queues. There are forces that were not happy with that situation.
Of course.
That we left not having fuel queue. And they will do everything to bring us back.
So is it that some people enjoy seeing people suffering?
No, because they make so much money when there is artificial scarcity. They create bottlenecks, they create scarcity. And that is how they make their money off the system, off the struggles of the average Nigerians. And you see, so that's why I said the government must rise up to sanction. It's not enough to threaten to sanction. When you don't make scapegoats of saboteurs, others will see it as the license to continue on that path. But when you make scapegoats of people, others will see that government is serious and all that. So I think government's responsibility is still to follow through all these and ensure that, look, this CNG works.
Yeah, speaking of saboteurs, do you think that Dangote is also facing this challenge, hence this...
In every business, there are those who want your business to grow. There are those who want it to be destroyed. That's why I also said that even Dangote is not free from all these. At the end of the day, the independent marketers, the Dangote, the NNPC, they are all players. The worst hit is they versus we, the consumers.
Well, we'll just look forward to seeing how this all plays out. But we'll still take this quick commercial break now. Don't go anywhere. We'll still have more for you on the...
No affairs. Have a feel.
It's glad to have you back. And joining us in the studio is the National Publicity Secretary of the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria, Ukadike Chinedu. It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, though a bit late.
I'm not late. I'm a little bit delayed.
Oh, okay. Delayed.
Matter of semantics.
Well,
yes.
the current...
Nigeria, there's no situation that you can say approximately.
Of course.
You understand me? But I'm glad I'm here.
Well, let's jump straight into the business of the day. Looking at the current global trends in the petroleum sector, vis-a-vis the cost of locally refining crude in Nigeria, do you think the justification that for the pump price increase by the Dangote Refinery is valid?
The crude oil is a global commodity. That one is certain. And it is also trite that whatever influences the price of the crude oil at the international markets will also definitely affect Nigerians. Because I can, from the CEO of NNPC, Kare, he says that the factors of price is being determined, one by the dollar exchange rate, then crude oil supply. Once the crude oil goes up, it will definitely affect the price of petroleum products here in Nigeria. Also remember that there is international standard price for sales of crude oil and also quota for every country. I also believe that Nigeria also have reserved for its indigenous refining, which the president have expressly given waiver that this product should not be buy in dollar any longer, it should be in naira. So the cost of the crude oil in the international market is also what is being applied to Dangote, who is also buying from Nigeria and other sources. It is not only Nigeria. Now Dangote is also buying from other sources, international market. Because I also am aware on the grapevine that there was a time he imported crude oil from America just to continue to sustain his 650,000 barrel per day single train refinery. So you can't have scarcity of crude oil. Well, no matter whatever is the price, either in Nigeria or internationally or locally, whatever, you cannot continue to source crude oil supply. Okay,
the issue now is Dangote is, it's said that Dangote is importing crude, and the independent marketers are saying, look, because of your high pricing, we're going to shift our importation, shift to importation of fuel. Is it just about Dangote? We have the Port Harcourt Refinery, we have the Warri Refinery. Now, where does it place these three refineries? Why is it about the Dangote Refinery you're not comfortable with?
Dangote came into this refining of petroleum products as a kind of a satire. We are all dependent on NNPC. And NNPC now was dependent on importation of petroleum products. We have not heard about these refineries. For the past 5, 10, 15 years, a decade, these refineries have been under turnaround maintenance. They have never refined any product. And at a point, some of the refineries were shut down. The Warri Refinery was deliberately shut down by the federal government, that is producing beyond its expenses. And also Kaduna. So now, when Dangote came into this business, we conquered the issue of availability, which was not there. Because we also have a serious problem, epileptic problem of supply. That epileptic problem of supply is either there is war in Ukraine, or there is lightning of this, or there is thunder there, or there is vessel problem, and all the rest of them. Some of our sufficiency problem will be clustered, and petroleum products sourcing will become very, very difficult, which will now definitely increase price of petroleum products. But since Dangote came in, we don't have any of those problems about supply. We have conquered supply. That is fuel. During the Christmas period, what we are battling now is prices. The prices flows up, it goes down, and that is the beauty of deregulation. It will continue. But when, like you probably pointed out, what of Port Harcourt, Warri, exactly. These ones are just commissioned recently. And yes, also believe...
the impact is not felt
yet. They are not yet felt. They are the Warri Refinery and Port Harcourt Refinery are still not producing at the optimal level. So the federal government is also trying to manage that. And I also believe they have not really decided what to do with these refineries. Because I believe that by now, they should be able to produce sufficient products. Since after the commissioning, they should be able to produce sufficient product to be able to force down the price of petroleum products from Dangote. Because what we are now talking about is first of demand and supply. So if there is enough from Port Harcourt and Warri, Dangote will also be... Dangote is a businessman. When he started with HU, you know what happened. HU was almost around 1,300, 1,500. even was skyrocketed to 1,600. Dangote came in with 1,200. And those who are importing came down to 1,300.
Yeah.
That's the price war. From 1,200, Dangote went down to 1,150. From 1,150 to 1,000. From 1,000 to 950. The people who are importing say we can no longer import because we cannot be able to recoup our return on investment. Even Dangote went further to 900. And the people all even wrote petition against him that he's spoiling the business.
So is this just a market war?
It's a market war. It's a market war. It's the deregulation. Now, you have seen the characteristics of the filling stations have changed. Just a little period of time. Before, there is this jerry coil of fuel line in NNPC filling station. Now they are all disappeared. You now see more lines in other independent marketers who are selling it more cheaper now than NNPC.
But in the case that
MRS is selling more cheaper than NNPC.
In the case that marketers begin this importation, won't this lead to the resurgence of fail queues? Because in the case where the product is not available or there's a delay in bringing this product into the country, wouldn't this also lead to what? The fears of marketers and also many Nigerians? No,
not at all. Dangote, last time as I checked, said he met with Mr. President, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and said, I have 500 million liters in my reserve. And I'm begging marketers to come and offtake. Because that was when this price war becomes a problem. If you want to do deregulation, do full deregulation. Don't subsidize. Don't discount dollar for anybody.
So who is discounting dollar now?
There's this subsidy. Is that what you're saying?
There is no subsidy now.
Okay.
The president has hands off and allowed the businessmen to go to the field. This thing that is happening here now happened in the telecommunication. You understand me? And that is why you see the SIM card was 50,000 then. Now it's free.
Now let's just stay with this, your business. Now, if you move to this part of importing fuel, it's going to put pressure on the foreign exchange.
Yes.
Are you also considering the implication of pressure on the foreign exchange?
Well, you see, the semantics of market is not what you can be able to determine. If actually that people will gather FX, you understand me, foreign currency, and go and get this product more cheaper than Dangote, federal government is encouraging it. And then DPR is giving license to those who feel maybe they have a sister refinery somewhere. They don't know where to take the product to. They're not bringing it to the Nigeria. Don't you have local rice? Don't you have... in short, fuel now is like local commodity. You can import, you can export. Government is giving you license to import. Government is also giving you license to export. And that is why you see, with independent marketers, wherever this fuel is cheap, if TVC is importing fuel now, and we'll go there, they are selling 750 naira, with independent marketers will buy. And go to our filling station and put our small margin. And continue to compete. There is no longer now the Eldorado of NNPCL, people gathering in their filling station, sleeping in their filling station. That one is gone.
But there's this narrative out there that the independent marketers seem to be more comfortable because they make more money when they import fuel. So there's kind of a gang war against local refining. Whether it is Dangote, whether it is Port Harcourt Refinery, there's a gang war to make sure that it is frustrated. And we go back to the part we had forgotten about.
Well, that is assertions. It's not real business reality. Because Dangote didn't build this refinery to listen to sidetracking information. So no. He built this refinery to be in business. He has been in business. You know what it's entailed to put $20 billion. He's not here to listen to any business. He's ready. He has said it that the cabals are fighting him. And he's ready to fight them. And now, the refineries that have been obsolete have started working by the NNPC. Remember, for the past 2 decades, these refineries have been under turnaround maintenance. Now, Mr. President said, I'm no longer going to import petroleum products. I want to do full deregulation. Let it bring the OICs to invest into this country. Because you cannot bring people to come and invest, build refinery, and you go behind to subsidize this. And you go behind to discount dollar.
Well, Ipman is advocating for the privatization of these existing refineries, but there is also a concern about energy security. And because critics say it is risky to put the hands of private operators.
What has it benefited us since the public sector has been taking care of the refinery? Millions of dollars, trillions of dollars has been washed away into the bin with a lot of excuses here and there. You understand me? Look at the element petrochemical. It has been there, was obsolete until the Indoramas came in and turned around the place. Since that date, the Indoramas came into element petrochemical. They have been producing, even as we are talking now, they are producing and they are selling. So anything that can bring competition, build both energy security, because what is energy security? Energy security is when your job is being guaranteed. When you have fuel at your abundance, that's energy security. You understand me? So if we have fuel in abundance, the competitors will be competing with price. And me and you, will be buying this fuel as low as possible. Government will definitely come in, like the NDPRA, will definitely come in to regulate how, like they do in telecommunication too. They do in the airlines. You understand me? Now, where is Nigerian Airways today?
Well,
it's gone. Airpeace has taken over. Some other aircraft have taken over. So whenever you put your mind in government, that government will do this one for you, government will do this one.
Well, we'll have to...
Foul. You understand?
We have to leave this conversation here because of time, but we'll do
Will they give me enough time? There's a lot to say.
You didn't come on time, but we hope to have you back to continue this conversation. Of course, there's a lot to unravel in this sector, but we hope that we'll bring you back some other time to continue the conversation. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, that's our package from Abuja. It's back to you in Lagos, Veronica.
Thank you to Jesu. Thank you, Eshomomo, for that conversation. I was having a swell time. And I really wanted him to tell us who the government was subsidizing dollar for. But anyway, we'll have some other time to tell us more on that.